So I was watching this short reel. It's a clip from a movie, and I forget which one. And it showed this delivery driver. I think he was door dashing or something, delivering food. And apparently he's like very smart. And he was delivering food into an apartment building where this guy was trading Forex or Bitcoin or whatever, right? And the guy had it in the wrong setting. Apparently he was trying to do the setting where he was trying to arbitrage British sterling with UK with American dollar. And so he goes in and he's waiting for the guy to come get out of the shower, and he just happened to glance over and he saw he had two monitors on, and the stock exchange was in a different setting. So he went in, messed around with it, and the guy came out of the shower and freaked out and said, "What are you doing?" Screaming at him. And he was, "Listen," the guy who's delivering the food saying, "Listen, you had it in a different setting. That's why you couldn't get it to trade. I just changed the setting for you." And the guy looked at the monitor, and like in that 2-3 minutes, he made $4,000, and he was freaking out. He goes, "I made $4,000. I made $4,000." And he was so excited. He was jumping up and down. And so the guy who was delivering the food goes, "Okay, here's your food. Here is your food." And the guy was standing there, and the guy who just got out of the shower stared at him, go, oh. So he gave him money, and then on top of it goes, 10%, right? And he gave him 10% in tips, and just glared at him. And then went back to his cell phone, talking to his friend, calling his friend up, telling him how excited he was about the $4,000 profit he just made. And the other guy just looked at him like, "Wait a minute, I just helped you make $4,000. You could have given me more than 10% tip." Anyways, when I watched this, I realized something very important. In life sometimes, it's not what you do sometimes, it's how people view you. It's the perception. If the perception has no value, no matter what you do, you'll still be looked upon with disdain, right? And so that's why a lot of times you have all these, life coach and personal coach talking about mentality and personal branding and all this other stuff. And so you have all these things that you have to show people that you're more than qualified, and you have to pay me good money or give me the right title and stuff. But the problem is sometimes the skill, the task you do is so highly skilled that you have to focus on developing those skills or those assets, and then you forget about developing your personal attribute in terms of branding yourself or creating a first impression and stuff like that, getting that look. So this is especially hard when you dedicate all your life to a very tough endeavor, right? It can be highly technical or it takes a lot of time to master that craft. And then you have somebody else who is not as talented, but they have mastered how to create that imagery or that brand. And so what happened is you have this disconnect. And sometimes people leverage the disconnect, right? They will move up the ladder or hold a position where they don't have to prove how smart they are. They're always in control of hiring the right people and then taking credits for it. And this is what happens sometimes with corporations and stuff, that you have people who are less and less skilled or less and less talented or technical. And you have people who are kind of like the kingmaker, right? The puppeteer. And before you know it, the company will collapse. And it collapsed very quickly. but you can see it. You can see it because you look around and all you see is a lot of puppeteers, right? Puppet masters. And unfortunately in my life, what I do is very technical in terms of like creativity and mastering different softwares and constantly trying to figure out like what software to use, what technology to use, what tool, what asset to use so that I can get the best for my client or move up and try to make money. And unfortunately, I never was able to land in a place. A few times I did, but I was still always viewed as the go-to guy for creating that brand or creating that packaging or that design. But I was never in view as like, there's something about him that's amazing, like he walks on water, he's like Jesus, and even then that persona can be demystified and can be broken also. Anyways, the point I'm trying to get is sometimes you have to look and see how you're viewed. And sometimes when you struggle so much, you're willing to take a job, right? And the client looks down on you, or your employees look down on you and lowball you or give you not what you're worth. And unfortunately, you have to take it because you have a family to support. You have to pay the mortgage, pay the car payment. And then you're doing tasks or skills that are highly, it taxes a lot of you mentally. But then on top of that, you have to